Sorry about today's audio. The thing. Still learning how to have two things of audio going in which the music can be recorded separately from the live stream, but also have it be heard by you guys. I'll figure it out. Anyways, today is the fourth in a series of streams and videos that I'm doing exploring the minor arcana of the tarot. So far we've gone through the Ace, 2, and 3 of Swords. So today we will be moving on to the 4 of Swords. Just to be clear, once I'm done with all the swords, I'm obviously going to be moving on to the other minor arcana. And then maybe I'll focus on the major arcana. In this, I guess I'll say series, I go over the significance of the symbolism used on the card, like what it's supposed to represent and the card's various meanings, as well as look at other kinds of generally spiritual kind of studies, such as numerology or astrology, to kind of get a more complete perspective on what the card represents. So, let's begin. First of all, with the general overview of this Four of Swords, is that it is a card that represents rest, recuperation, meditation, and the pause that comes after struggle. Kind of like, if you ever get into a shutout match with someone and then afterwards you're just sitting, kind of like, you feel bad, but you realize that maybe that conflict was necessary in order to bring change. That kind of calm that comes afterwards, which doesn't always feel good, but is probably necessary, is what this card represents. And I just realized that my mic is way over here and moved out of the way. My bad. So I'll just reiterate the fact that the card represents rest, recuperation, meditation, and pause after struggle. Kind of the kind of thing where maybe a struggle was necessary, and then after the fact, while you might not feel great about it, you have this calm realization that it was necessary. On the card, the symbols you'll see are the resting figure, the 3 swords above them, the sword beneath them, and a stained glass window. The figure is generally a knight laying on a tomb, which is supposed to represent rest, recovery, and reflection. I think it's interesting that's a tomb, since I feel that's generally might imply a more grim form of rest. But I don't think that is intentional, it's just that it is symbolic of rest. The 3 blades are supposed to represent past struggles, battles, or challenges that have been faced. So you've gone over that kind of hill. And the 1 blade beneath him, the one that in this image is on the tomb or on the crypt, kind of carved into it, or resting beside it, is supposed to represent a period of rest, contemplation, and the need to be prepared for future challenges. It is set aside. It is not necessarily drawn and ready to be used, but it is there so that if the knight needs, he can quickly grab it. So, even though you don't need to be tense in the moment, just being prepared but calm, that's kind of what that's supposed to represent. The glass window, or the stained glass window, represents a spiritual reflection, sanctuary, and the importance of inner peace, acceptance, that kind of thing. Being one with oneself. Going on to the various associations with other studies, starting with astrology. Once again, as a card from the Swords suit, the Four of Swords is associated with the element of air, which represents intellect, communication, and one's mental processes. In terms of one's astrological sign, the Four of Swords is often associated with Libra, sign of balance, fairness, and relationships. Libra's influence underscores the themes of finding equilibrium and peace after a period of conflict, kind of like what I was saying. It's coming back to zero. In numerology, the number 4 is representative of stability, foundation, and structure. Kind of like the sword being prepared, you need a foundation for rest and recuperation. It's not just indulging in sloth and ignoring one's duties. It's making sure you are in a place where you can afford rest and recuperation. It's being in a place of stability. In alchemy, there is something called calcination, which is the process of breaking down substances to their basic components. Four Swords represents a time of breaking down mental and emotional stress to reach a state of rest and purification. I'm going to have to reread. That's interesting. I kind of equate that to going back to the idea of right after a major conflict, when you're sitting with yourself and thinking about what conflicts you just went through, sitting with the emotions, sitting with the thoughts in your mind, and just kind of digesting them, feeling them to their completion so that you can let them go. Okay. With runes, it looks like we are given 2 runes. Isa and Awaz. Oh, side note, I'm going to be mispronouncing a lot of things here because I am not, like, a professional here. But I'm trying my best. Isa, or however that's pronounced, signifies stillness, pause, and the need for reflection. So rest and recuperation, stillness, you get the idea. While Awaz represents endurance and resilience, emphasizing a need to gather strength during periods of rest. In I Ching, let's see, the hexagram is hexagram 52, called Zhen, also called keeping still, which represents stillness, meditation, and inner peace. It aligns with the Four of Swords themes of rest, reflection, and recuperation. Just to note, when I create the final versions of these reviews of the Minor Arcana, I plan on also providing the relevant imagery. So the symbol Isa and Awaz, I'll show you an image of hexagram 52, all that stuff. In Ayurveda, it says it is essential to balance your air and ether elements for mental rest and clarity. Four of Swords reflects the need to ground and stabilize your vata to achieve mental peace and recuperation. Recuperation. There's a few different things to talk about chakra. In general chakra associations, it just says that it is linked to the third eye chakra, or Ajni, which governs intuition, insight, and one's mental clarity. This influence emphasizes the importance of inner reflection and mental rest. In Reiki, It also talks about your ajna. For healing the third eye is crucial when dealing with themes of the Four of Swords. Reiki practices can help enhance intuition and mental clarity during periods of rest. In Kundalini, the third eye, it talks about the ajna, where it resonates with the Ajna Chakra, emphasizing the need for mental rest and cultivation of insight and intuition. I think that's all the chakras that I have listed. Next up, in herbalism, the most relevant herb, I guess, would be chamomile, which is known for its calming and soothing properties, embodying the essence of what the Four of Swords is supposed to represent. It promotes relaxation, reduces stress, and supports a restful sleep. In Qigong, it says Qi cultivation. Practices that focus on cultivating and balancing one's Qi align with the Four of Swords themes to promote rest, relaxation, and inner peace. Animism, the most relevant spirit would be the spirit of the bear, which represents introspection, rest, and strength. The Four of Swords aligns with the bear's themes of hibernation and gathering your strength through periods of rest. In sacred geometry, the Four of Swords is related to the square, which makes sense. The square is a symbol of stability, structure, and foundation. More symbolic depth from the things I described before. Resting figure represents the need for rest, recuperation, and reflection after a period of struggle or challenge. The sword signifies past challenges, battles, and stress that have already been overcome. The sword below emphasizes the importance of preparation and readiness for future challenges after a period of rest. And the stained glass windows suggest spiritual reflection, sanctuary, and inner peace. We can now go on to the interpretations of this card, starting with its right side up, and then going on to its reverse meaning. Upright, the Four of Swords represents rest and recuperation and recovery after a period of struggle or stress. It encourages taking your time so that you may heal and reflect, which goes into the next meaning, meditation and reflection. It signifies a need to have your inner reflection and develop mental clarity. It emphasizes the importance of taking a break so that you can gain new perspective. It also means, it also represents preparation, suggesting that you should take your time to gather and prepare strength. To gather strength and prepare for future challenges, underscoring the importance of rest and maintaining resilience. It also represents inner peace, encouraging that you find sanctuary and inner peace through rest and reflection. These are all very positive things, which naturally means in reverse it is a very unpleasant card. In reverse, the Four of Swords can represent restlessness and anxiety, suggesting that you're having difficulty finding rest and relaxation or coming to peace, coming to terms with something. It indicates you have a mental restlessness and anxiety that you need to address. It can represent delay in healing or obstacles in the healing process. It suggests that there might be an underlying issue that needs to be addressed before you can continue with recuperation. It can represent overwork and burnout, indicating overwork and the risk of burnout due to a lack of rest. It emphasizes the importance of taking breaks to prevent mental and physical exhaustion. And it represents a necessity for isolation. Sometimes you just need some time to be alone and face yourself, to deal with who you are as an individual without the distraction of others. I know that can be difficult. We, as a species, are very social, and oftentimes we will try and distract ourselves through the use of company. But sometimes you just need to sit with yourself and think about where you are in life. I also like to give different theological and philosophical interpretations, just to be a bit more well-rounded. So in Christian theology, the resting figure can represent the concept of the Sabbath, which is a time for rest and reflection. Stained glass window would still represent a spiritual sanctuary and the importance of inner peace, but kind of recontextualized to that of a church. In Jungian psychology, it represents the need for introspection and integration of past experiences, emphasizing the importance of rest and reflection in the process of individuation and self-discovery. In the Kabbalah, the Four of Swords is linked to the Sephirah of Chesed, or mercy. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of words here. But it represents the nurturing and healing aspects of rest and recuperation, emphasizing the importance of self-care and inner peace. That was this week's representation, or this week's dive into another card for the Minor Arcana, this time the Four of Swords. Next time we will be talking about the Five of Swords. I just want to say thank you to anyone who watches this. I appreciate each and every last one of you. And I'll see you all next time. Hopefully with music playing in the background. Each and every last one of you. And I'll see you all next time. Hopefully with music playing in the background.